Good afternoon, Wolfgang. Thanks for joining me this afternoon to talk a bit about the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance. Wolfgang Neuman, as many of you may know, is chair of the new Sustainable Hospitality Alliance. But I wanted to start, Wolfgang, if I may, by asking you about how you see the relationship between what the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance is planning to do and the idea of responsible business, which is obviously a broader idea. But how do you see the sustainability and the responsible business angles joining together?
Well, thanks for having me, Howard. It's good to be with you again and talk a little bit about the Alliance and the broader impact that we face. And as you rightly say, sustainability is much more in the broader context than environmental issues. It goes well beyond the environment. It touches society, the economy, just like the UN Sustainable Development Goals address our global challenges that we face as a society. And they include social and environmental issues. And the hospitality industry has the opportunity, and I would think the responsibility, to make an impact on this sustainable agenda, on this sustainable broader agenda. And the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, which goes back some 18 years, originally the International Tourism Partnership, does exactly that. We want to collectively make an impact on the global and local agenda when it comes to sustainability and human rights.
One of the things that was striking, I mean, the ITP, the International Tourism Partnership, obviously originated with the International Hotels Environment Initiative. And I'm old enough, Wolfgang, to have been around when that transition occurred. And for me, that was a really important moment, that development from just focusing on the environment and realizing that if we were going to make the world a better place, we had to focus on more than just the environment. And it does seem to me that we've made good progress in that regard. But can I share with you something which is going to come up on the on-demand sessions next week, which is that we've got an interview with one of the VPs at Lemon Tree Hotels. Do you know they've now got 20% of their staff are either people who are disabled or really disadvantaged Indians? It is extraordinary what the hotel sector can deliver, isn't it, in terms of helping people to have a better life?
It's fantastic. And look, the hospitality industry is extremely well placed to make a difference and to help. And I think COVID has shown that, of how the hospitality industry has reacted. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people always talk about the fact that we create a lot of jobs in local communities. And as we know, 1 in 10 jobs globally in 2020 by WTTC confirmed was created by the travel and tourism industry. And it's employment which is inclusive, it's employment which is easy to get into because the entry level is easy, but it goes well beyond the employment. I mean, we make an impact on the entire agenda. And as you rightly said, originally there was a lot of focus on sustainability alone, but now it goes well beyond that, and people are recognizing that we are having a real role to play in the local societies, and it has this incredible knock-on effect that we can provide in the local communities and destinations. And I think the absence of tourism in the last couple of months has certainly shown how devastating it is when these activities are not taking place.
Can we just focus a bit on how you see the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance developing? We've obviously done that roundtable interview a while ago now, and we'll make sure the link is alongside this. But do you want to just say something about how you see the future of the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance?
Yeah, look, today we represent 25% of the global hotel industry. So we are a force for good, and it's all about collaboration. We recognize that alone we cannot tackle these massive challenges that are facing us on this agenda as we tackle the UN SDGs. All of us have the ability and have momentum, but together we are stronger. So we want to use our collective force to help each other use each other's synergies and be a voice, provide best practices, provide programs and tools in a very practical way, which help and inspire the industry to really move from talk to action, because there is a lot of talk. And I think the good thing about COVID is actually in many ways that it reminds us that, hey, we cannot continue the way of doing business as we have. So that's the good thing. And the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance provides the platform for the industry to come together. And by the way, it's not just the big members of Hilton, Marriott, Interconti, Hyatt, Radisson, and Wyndham. We also have small members who are benefiting from the resources, from the knowledge. And together, we have very clearly defined goals. They focus on 4 core areas in terms of water and carbon, in terms of youth unemployment and human rights. And we go out and provide practical programs and tools which help the hotels at local level to make a difference.
Wolfgang, I just would like to say that one of the things which most impressed me about the transition from the International Tourism Partnership to the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance is that change from being a members organisation now to being a registered charity in the UK, and your willingness to share the expertise and the knowledge which has been developed, frankly, mainly by the bigger hotels, but now the willingness to share that across the sector. That seems to me to be a really enlightened position for the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance to have taken up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a membership organization, as you say, Harold, but we provide the tools and programs for free. Give you an example. We just created the business case for sustainable hotels, recognizing that if you want to have an impact in a hotel in terms of the environment, it starts with the design and construction phase. And there are multiple partners involved in this. And it's the operator, it's the owner, it's the investor, it's the franchisee. So we recognize that all these parties have to come together and realize that creating and building a sustainable hotel from its outset has then creates the ability to really have an impact. And by the way, it makes financial sense. So we created this business case for sustainable hotels together with IFC, the World Bank division, and provide this now for free as an example, or hotel carbon water measurement initiative, or the hotel water measurement initiative. These are all practical tools which allow hotels locally to set targets for their consumption, measure how they go in reducing their carbon footprint or their water consumption, and then join the programs of what can be done to reduce our footprint or the water consumption.
Wolfgang, one of the things which strikes me about your group is that you're not very good at blowing your own trumpet, actually. So we've just announced, and people have just seen the film of the Responsible Tourism Awards, that none of your member organisations joined. Do you want to just give us a couple of examples of what they have done to address COVID in about 60 seconds as we come to the end of our allotted slot this morning?
Look, the hotel industry and our members have been fantastic in responding to the crisis. They have transformed vacant hotel rooms to treatment facilities. They provided free food and accommodation for healthcare professionals. They support their staff through targeted temporary jobs programs, employee assistance programs, which really target the vulnerable and the people who are deprived of their normal income. Housing was made available for vulnerable people. Food and supplies were donated from our members. The examples are varied. And I think that the brilliant thing is that big companies have been very focused on creating these programs, but equally the small hotels locally have done just as much. I mean, there was a lot of coverage on initiatives that hotel companies like Interconti did or Hilton did by really specifically donating membership programs, reward programs, points to medical staff, which allowed them then to have a break. Equally, Radisson did an incredible impact on donating food in India, for example, to the people impacted by the crisis. It's varied initiatives which make a genuine difference. And I think that's what just is so wonderful about our industry. It's a people industry. And we rally in these crises together and support the local communities, because we do business in the local communities. So it's important to give back.
Wolfgang, thank you very much for spending time with us this afternoon, and I hope that we find ways of continuing to work closely between the Responsible Tourism Programme and the Sustainable the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance. Thank you very much indeed for your time, Wolfgang. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.